Hello and welcome to this podcast. I'm Dr. Zina Lahaf. We have been discussing different topics in this podcast, such as digital inclusion, cybersecurity, deprivation, and today we are going to talk about very interesting topic, well-being. Before we start discussing this topic, I want to invite my guests to introduce themselves first, please. So, if we start with Mrs. Locke, please.
Okay, my name is Christine Locke, and I'm the CEO of Diversity House.
Thank you.
And my name is Adekunle Shodia. I'm a project support officer in Diversity House.
Thank you very much.
My name is Ayomide Charles Omumei. I'm the cybersecurity analyst and IT tutor in Diversity House. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy to have you all here discussing the topic of well-being. It is 1 hour podcast. We are going to talk about our well-being first. So we're going to start talking about our experience. How are we maintaining our well-being? And then I will ask more questions related to this first part. Second part, we are going to talk about how are we helping others to improve their well-being, to maintain their well-being in at Diversity House. So if the floor is yours now, if you want to talk about your experience, how are you feeling and thinking at the moment in relation to maintaining well-being? Where are you at?
Yes, thank you very much. Like you really said, this is a very crucial topic. And we at Diversity House must be in a good place before we can help other people to maintain their health or to improve their health. So me personally, what I do is I go on walks. Every day I try to go on walks. But before going having my going on walks, I try to filter my spirit, my mind, because you see, health is about the totality of health is about body, spirit, mind. So first, in the morning, I go into prayers and try to think good thoughts, try to think about be appreciative also in the morning, to appreciate that I'm alive. It would have been worse. So have very good thoughts and be very thankful that I have family, that I have people that care for me, and I have people to care for also, because it's a blessing also to love and to be loved. So I thank I'm so grateful that I have a roof over my head. And I just look for opportunities to be grateful. So you need to start your day with being, appreciative of everything, appreciative of the air that you breathe, So you filter all negativity out, and then go for, just go for a round of, go for a walk. I normally go for leisure walks at nearby park called Abeni Park. So minimum of 4 laps of the park. I just go around and then I come back, because my job, just like every one of you here working in charities, people don't really understand how stressful it is to work in charities, because you are supporting people, particularly at charity, whereby you're supporting people that are really at the edge of their communities. So you hear all sorts of stories that could, mind-boggling stories that could actually make you very sad and depressed if you're not very careful. So it's very good that you maintain your well-being. So once I've gone on walks, then I come back, have my breakfast, and go to work. But weekends, I usually, cycle. But I want to be very honest with you. I've not been on my bike. I've not been on my bike for 6 months, and that's the truth. And I love cycling. I have about 3-4 bikes in myself, and I love cycling. It makes me so happy and free. but I've not done it for 6 months, and I need to go back to my cycling. And but I'm not going to tell you that I'm always keeping healthy and having, I've not been taking my well-being very seriously. I need to be honest about that, because I've been studying, and because I've been studying, I've been burning the candle both ends. So I've been waking up, staying up very late, waking up very early, and that's not very good enough. So one needs to have some balance, between, go to bed early, wake up early, so that you can really achieve what you need to achieve. So that's how, in a nutshell, I've been trying to keep myself going and being happy, but be happy all the time, have good thoughts.
Yeah, thank you very much for sharing your experience. Yes, you mentioned the very important points which I relate to: gratitude, exercise outside, um, being thankful. Yeah, it goes back to gratitude, sleeping early, and also for being aware whether we are doing our best, showing up to our well-being or not. So when we are aware, that's a win in itself. That's something really good for a person to know whether they are doing what it needs to be done to be well, to serve others. As you said, we are in a environment where we are working and showing up for others, but before we show up for others, we need really to look at ourselves. You cannot pour from an empty cup. So that's very, yeah, thank you very much. Who wants to share their experience?
Yeah, let me share my experience.
Thank you.
Well, well-being. This is a very, very good topic and a very important one, like we have said. To be able to take care of others, you actually need to be fine yourself. And well-being to me, it's something that affects one's state of health or state of mind. So if you are not in a good health or in a good mind, for you to actually look for other people to be so difficult. So I know that there are so many areas where well-being can come in. It could be physical, it could be emotional, it could be mental, even sometimes financial. Maybe you look at your bank accounts and you see that you don't have enough there and you have a lot of responsibilities, family, you know, before leaving home and you know that you need a lot of money with a lot of commitment and you are going to work and you don't want it to affect your colleague or your service user. So I have my ways of managing situation like that. And if it is financial well-being, what I look is, oh, I have a good health. What if I don't have this good health? I'm in the hospital and they even tell me that I have the money, but the money can't even solve my problem. So I usually suppress whatever that has to do with money because I know that it's money, it will go and it will come. So I don't let money things to actually weigh me. If it is something that really needs urgency, I either reach out to people. So once I tried my best and it's not working, I just leave it there. I can't kill myself. So if it is something that has to do with emotional, that maybe, sometimes when things are too emotional for you, you can't even control it. For example, maybe there is a loss in the family and that person is very closer to you. So for you to pretend like as if nothing didn't happen, it's a kind of a bit difficult situation for you. So in a situation like that, what I usually do is try as much as possible to listen to music, and sometimes music don't work for me. So if it is an emotional situation like that, that is something very close to me, that is not just a one day thing. Even I try to forget in that particular moment and it comes back. So what usually works for me is just go for swimming. I like swimming, but I haven't done that in a very long time because work Monday to Fridays and weekends, family things. But I've always had my way of going about it. And also my physical well-being, I've not been doing it regularly. I have to be honest with myself because there was a time that I do register to gym, but now I hardly go to the gym. But the only way I keep up to that is when I wake up in the morning before doing anything, I make sure that I do my press up, minimum of 20. And after the press up and I do my prayer. After the prayer, before doing anything in the morning, I make sure that I take 2 glass cup of water. So that's how I usually maintain my well-being. So if I'm able to do that, I know that, okay, I feel all right then. I'm setting out the day, maybe going for work. So when I get to the work, I know that I already take care of my own well-being. So anybody that I'm going to talk with, my conversation with people is not going to affect the conversation because they won't be asking me that, oh, Hadi, you look worried. What was it? And seriously, a lot of things are happening, but you can't just put them on your face for people to be asking you that what's actually happening. So, and for me to see people that have mental health issue, maybe they are worried, and first thing that I do is I try to speak to them. So when I speak to them, I let them know that whatever they are telling me, that I'm not going to reveal it out to other person. I always make sure that the GDPR, I always keep it in place because the only time they can feel free to talk to you and share what they are going through it is when they know that whatever they are telling you, that they can trust you. That's not that they will tell you something and they will be hearing from third party that is not even there when you're having the conversation. So that's it for me. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much. I liked the point I wanted to highlight. Be grateful of what you already have to achieve what you want to have. So that's really important mindset
Yeah.
to keep going and to be motivated to live your daily life in so that's one very important. You mentioned also emotional well-being. Yeah, sometimes we go through very hard situations, as you said, losing someone. But we've got different strategies, coping strategies. The one you mentioned is what it's not fighting, it's fleeing strategy, what we call fleeing strategy. It means instead of feeling the feeling or trying to be in the situation, or I'm not saying not accepting, but
Mhm.
trying instead distracting yourself and doing something else just to forget that situation or that feeling. So everyone has their own strategies to cope with hard situations. Yeah, but thank you very much for sharing your experience.
Yeah.
I know that we are all doing our best to be well. Charles.
Yeah. For me, I'll say like what always helped me, aside from being grateful, is practicing journaling. I always try to like write down because whatever we think in our mind is different from what actually happened, and if you can have like clarity of the whole situation, I always try to, like, take myself out of my situation, write it down. Okay, this is what's going on. This is why I want to go on. How can I avoid what's going on? So I practice journaling like a whole lot, write things down for clarity. That's what I do. And then also I read a lot of books. I read books a lot. I read my favorite so far is The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. I read her books, and I also listen to podcasts of John Assaraf. These are people like they like talk about mental well-being. They talk about you know how to for you to have a focused mind, chase your goals, how to not relent and stuff like that. So that's what keeps me going, and above all, prayer. Like always pray to God. Very, very important. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Um, I'm very happy that I'm listening to different strategies, and I want to highlight them to the listeners later on so that they can learn from what you all doing. Like Charles has focused on journaling, writing down your thoughts. That's a very powerful strategy. I use it myself. So I do write down all my thoughts. I practice journaling every day, whether early in the morning or just before bed, because it helps to clear your mind. It helps also to choose what to think, as you said, because during the day we go through different experiences, we hear different stories, but it's our responsibility to choose what to take with us and to choose what to ignore or to leave it, and to say well, I can't do anything about that, so I'm letting it go. So yes, very powerful strategy to journaling. And yeah, listening to podcasts, that's also very nowadays is very popular, and there are good speakers over there. And yeah, we can find who works for us or what works for us. Yeah.
So
Priya.
what works for me actually is I love reading books.
Mm,
Books, when you come to my house, my toilet, you have bookshelves, my kitchen, in my shed. So everywhere. And people come to my house, they laugh because there's one person. When I love an author, I just go in totally. James Patterson. I don't know if any one of you know James Patterson. I have all his books. Every fiction that he's written, I have it. I used to love um I there are many people I love their books, but reading books and getting lost in books are one of the things I like to do. And also watching films. But I watch films that are not sad. I don't like sad films because that will make me start feeling sad. I don't like sad films. I like films that people think they're flimsy. Just laugh. Anything that it doesn't make it doesn't make sense, but things that make you to laugh, joyful films. That's what I do, amongst other things. But gardening, I don't know if anyone, I love flowers. I love
yeah.
flowers a lot. And some of you will know from coming to our center that I'm always talking about our flowers are dead and how do we get some new flowers? I love
Yeah.
flowers. And maybe go crazy and talk to the flowers or give the flowers a cup of tea, cold tea, something like that.
Yes. Yeah. Reading is very important. And laughter. Laughter is medicine. Yeah. Yeah. Um, yes. Um, shall I share something about my experience? What works for me? Yes. I used when I was going through very hard situation. I want to talk about that in particular, so that um, I'll show how well-being is very important and how one's awareness, individual awareness, is very important as well. It's one step towards um, maintaining well-being. So I used to wake up very early to study, but when it is 7, I should go for a walk at least 30 minutes because by from 4 to 7 I am already tired. So 30 minutes walk in the wood in green space, and I don't take my phone with me. It gives me a mental space just to relax and see the beauty in nature. So I also go to the gym. It's one thing that brings joy to myself, and I love doing something like Zumba, Pilates, yoga. It's good for mental health, and it's also good for physical health. So you are maintaining both mental health and physical health, and of course, emotional health. And the more you do something that brings joy to yourself, the more you are confident about yourself, acceptance, you love life. Because I always say it, we really need to create that balance in our day. Balance. If you are a believer, did you pray? If you What did you do to maintain your physical health? What did you do to Did you eat well today? Did you sleep well? Did you talk to your family? If you're living by yourself or your family, even if you are living in the same place, in the same house, did you devote some time to talk with your family members? So maintaining your relationship, that's very important. um, as I said earlier to Charles, I use journaling. I write down my thoughts, and meditation, mindfulness, different sorts of things. Well, I have developed, I would say, 3 years ago, I was not aware of, I was not doing this. So my mental health or my well-being back then, it was not great as now. Even now, when I am going through so challenges, I know how to bring myself back. So yeah, so this is something about me. For now, let's
Let
move
me
on to
add
the,
something. Can I add
yes,
something
yes,
that
please.
is very, very good since we are talking even about mental health? So letting go. You've got to let go. You mentioned relationship. Some people live with family members and they don't even talk to them. So one thing I've learned about life is there's nothing anybody can do to me that will be so hurtful that yeah, it hurts me, but that will not make me not to talk to them. That will not make me not to forgive. And people say, oh, forgive, but they will not forget. No, you will forgive and you will forget. Because when you harbor malice in you, when you harbor anger in you, there's nothing that eats away worse than cancer, than malice. So you must let go. And that's how your mental well-being will be okay. And laughter. Laughter is medicinal. Find ways to laugh. Talk to loved ones. I'm going through certain issues now. I'm studying and I'm getting lots of negativities. I'm getting, oh, it's not, some people like to tell you that you're not good enough. I want to let you know that you are good enough. You're as good as you think you are. Do you understand? And so people, because they tell them they're not good enough, you're not doing this enough, you don't work hard enough, so nothing is enough. And then they carry it, they internalize it, and that affects their mental well-being. No, you are as good as you think you are. Don't wait for other people to affirm, to say, congrats, you're wonderful. No, you will tell them, I am good. I know who I am. So those are those kind of things. If you have those kind of thoughts, if you know that you have to value yourself, first of all, that's more important. If you don't value yourself, nobody else will value you. So if you have that set of mind frame, I think your mental well-being will be okay. Yeah.
Yes, I totally agree with that. Self worth, self value, because you don't wait others to value you. Do not expect to receive what you don't have. And yes, a thought, whenever, if you repeat it constantly, it becomes a belief. So if somebody tells you, as Mrs. Locke was saying, you're not enough, or if you believe it, if you keep saying, oh, you told me that I'm not enough, then sir, I'm not enough, that's wrong. That's why the point that we are making is try to value yourself, to show yourself that you are enough. If you finding it hard to see evidence over there that you are enough, start, make a list. What makes you feel that you are enough? And the more you repeat it, it becomes a belief. And once it is a belief, then even if you get people out there saying that you're not enough, you don't believe, yeah, you can tell me you're not enough, but I'm not believing you. You are telling me I'm not enough. It's you and what you think. What you think defines you. It does not define me. So you can say whatever you want to say. Thank you. I listen to it. But it's my responsibility whether I'm taking it and I'm putting it inside, believing it, and I'm going with it or no. Yes, that's a very powerful thing that we really all need to work on as individuals. So yeah, do we have anything else that we want to
No, I just
say?
want to say thank you because, this is a very, very powerful session that we're having here. We're
Yes,
actually
yes,
canceling one another, and
yeah,
so it brings clarity to your mind. So I'm really very appreciative of this moment.
that's true. Yes, yeah. It's very hard on a daily basis. All of us, we're going through different um, situations. We hear different things, but the I would say, if the powerful investment is when we invest on ourselves, on oneself, whether on the mindset, in different levels. So the more you invest on yourself, you are rich, and you can go through challenges on a daily basis in a healthy way. I'm not saying don't put yourself over there. I'm not saying don't put yourself in very challenging situations, but be powerful. Go with how do we say, you are ready for challenges. You are ready to be around people that criticize you, for example, around people that don't like you. To be honest, there are some people, they don't like themselves. How do you expect them to like you? So the only one who is responsible for you is you. And if you want, I tell you something, some people, they find it very hard to sit with themselves, to have a regular meeting with themselves. So that's something I myself started to learn 2 years ago. And now I enjoy sitting with myself, just to be honest with myself. What are you doing? Where are you going? What are you doing to fulfill your dream? What's your dream? And on a daily basis, you need to remind yourself, what is your goal in life? How do you want to act today? Do you sit with yourself and ask yourself, how am I going to act today? And it works. If you set up your mindset in the morning, look, today I'm going to act in this way. Today I choose to be calm. I choose to be grateful. It works.
Let me come into what you've said. What you've just said is so powerful. And you know that that's the spirit of reflexivity. You've got to have a mind frame to reflect all the time. And you could do reflexivity using your journal, like like we said. But just think things through. What have I done today? What have I achieved? What do I plan to achieve tomorrow? Am I where I should be? What are those things that are pulling me down? How do I navigate those things? So reflexivity, you could have a book, just like Charles does, where you can, put things down, and that will remind you of what's going on. And also, when you go through challenges also, why not note it down and see, how did I overcome those challenges? What was the tools that I used to, now that I've built resilience? So, that helps you. So, and without challenges, I tell you, you can't build resilience. So challenges make you to have the spirit of bouncing forward again. So it's, I'm not saying that challenges are good, but we are human beings. We live in this world. And as far as we live here, there'll be challenges. So, but it's the tools that you have now that will help you to overcome such challenges and live a happy and fruitful life.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, I'm loving this topic, and I'm aware of the time. So, do we have anything that we want to talk about before we move to the second part of the podcast?
Well,
Just
first I will say that with everything being said by Mrs. Locke and you, Dr. Zena, everything is right because I remembered back then when I was in Nigeria, I actually wanted to start a business. The first time I'm going to start a business, I was like, oh, I've never done this. I did not even go to a business school. How do I start this? I was like, oh, I can't do this. You know, I kept pulling myself back. I graduated 2014, and that was the first time that it popped to my mind that let me do a business because I was applying for many jobs. I was not getting those jobs. But because I was saying, I can't do this, I can't do this, I didn't do anything for more than 2 years. until 2016 that something just drove me out of the house. Because then I used to stay at home all the time, and I have an issue with my landlord. So my landlord usually reports me that all sorts of things that has been happening in the area. Maybe they should ask me that I've always been at home, that I'm not going out. So because of that, I said, because I've always been at home, I've not been going anywhere. I think I'm responsible for it. Well, I had to leave my position then. I went to a place, asked if I can get a stand that I want to be selling things there. They said it's okay that I'll be paying 5,000 naira monthly. That 5,000 naira is not my problem then because I have more than that. I said, okay, I'm going to try. The first day that I started my business, I was looking around if people are looking at me. I've never done that before. So somebody just said, okay, people are not actually looking at me. People are doing their thing on their own. So that day, I actually said, okay, well, I'm out today. The second day, I did the same thing as well. I said, but I didn't say anything yesterday. I didn't sell anything today as well. Am I sure I'm going to continue this thing? So the person that I actually got the space from, and I'll call the person that I don't think I'm going to continue this business. He said, why? I said I started yesterday, today, and the day after yesterday that I started. I'm not making any sale. He now said, not because he has collected money from me, that I should keep on going, that the time he even started the whole business on his own, that he was managing the business for someone, not for himself. That I just keep on going, I just keep on doing what I know that I'm doing. He said, how about if I tried reducing the price of what I'm selling? So he did some counseling for me, which I've never even seen anyone that would do the counseling for me. And I took the advice. If I tell you that the week that follows, I started making few friends that say, okay, are you there? Okay, I'm coming to buy. That's how I started my business. And before I know it, I started opening another branch. So, when sometimes you are feeling some kind of feelings, some kind of negativity, you yourself, you are not sure if you should actually try. Maybe you are afraid of trying because that was what actually happened to me then. I'm afraid of trying. I'm afraid of starting. But I just got to realize from my own situation that whatever you are thinking of something, don't be afraid. Just try. Even if you fail, keep on trying because there is someone that I also met that said he tried an exam 5 times that I failed, that he only passed the exam the sixth attempt. And when they now called him for interview for the job, he said he has applied for this particular job more than 5 times that he failed. And if he passed the interview the sixth time, now I said, okay, how come you didn't give up? He said the experiences he had in those previous ones made him to even prepare more for the one that he passed. And they chose the man because he had failed several attempts, that he had so many experience with the question that they have said. So that has just opened my mind that whenever you just want to do something, the negativity will come, but don't just accept the negativity because once you accept it, it's like as if you are also accepting defeat. So everything you have said is actually right. And we should pay close attention. By writing things down, I've learned that today that when you write things down, you actually use as a checklist for you to know, have I actually done this? Am I able to do this? So it's a very good topic for me myself. Yeah, thank you.
Yes, thank you. What you said, Adi, is something like, oh yeah, the fear of failure. Some
Mm,
people, they don't want to try because they fear failure. But what if I'm okay, or I have the courage to fail? The moment you say that I have the courage to fail, there is what's the worst thing that can happen? If I'm accepting failure, so then I can take on this challenge. Yes, okay. Let's now talk about the second part. We have talked in a nice way about our experiences. I have learned a lot from your experiences. But now we are going to talk about what are we doing at Diversity House, and what are we doing for others. How are we helping others to maintain their well-being, to improve their well-being? Yes. So now the floor is yours, and
I
you.
think I think Charles wanted to say something.
Yeah, I was going to say something when she was
Yeah,
talking about
yeah.
failure, and I was going to say that people shouldn't see. No, I don't believe in failure. Like that word failure, I think you only fail when you quit, right? When you don't do it at all, that's when you fail. But challenges should not be seen as failure. I don't know if anyone get what I'm trying to say, because challenges will always come. Challenges, I mean, your exam is a challenge for you to go to the next class, right? So if it's when you don't do that exam, that's when you fail. But when you face it, you read, and then that's you facing that challenge. So I think we should not see challenge as a failure. We should just man up to challenge, face challenges, then come out triumphant by the grace of God. Yeah, I was going to say that.
Yeah, it's not only that. There's this of ex-president of former president of America. I always think about him, and when I think about what he went through, it makes me to sit up and say, I will succeed. Abraham Lincoln.
Mm.
Abraham Lincoln tried to be president. You know how many times?
Mm, five
It
or
was
six.
it was the seventh time that he became a president.
Yeah, true.
Yes. So there was a time, you know, that even his own home state did not, he didn't win the election in his home state, you know. So that's bad enough. That's like your family saying we don't like you enough, you know. And yet he persevered. So to persevere, and you know, if you don't take risk, life is risky itself. Stepping outside their house, it's risky, you know? So will you say, because you could just open the door and there's some cat will just jump on top of you and bite you. Anything could happen. You could fall off the staircase. Will you say you won't go out? Let me just stay at home so that I don't get run over by a car, you know? But you just have to get up and go out and do what you need to do. So take risk. Without risk, you can't succeed. And don't be fearful of risk. It's fear and anxiety. You know, some people come all the time. I'm seeing people that are anxious all the time. All the time. So let's get to that. I know that's the next question. What do we do when we have people like that come here?
Yes. What do we do when we receive service users who are going through very hard emotions or mental health issues? How are we helping them at Diversity House? What different activities are we doing at the moment to help them? Yes.
Let me start off because health is everybody's business. Health is not just the business of NHS or a doctor or a nurse, or we all, even businesses, charities, local authorities, those selling in the shop, everybody has something to contribute towards, you know, maintaining people's health. And so we realize that in Diversity House, and hence this conversation. How do we keep ourselves healthy? And so because we try our own best in the ways we have said, you know, we have spoken already. So we now have the courage to come out there and to want to support other people to take care of themselves. And as you know, a charity that supports everybody, regardless of your social category, regardless of your wealth or whatever you are, or your age. You know that different people will come in here, and people from different backgrounds having different issues. So you have to be ready at all times to confront, you know, challenges in terms of health. So what do we do? First of all, we try to create a welcoming environment, because the environment you find yourself also contributes to whether you be in good health or not. If you are in a very chaotic environment, if you are in an environment that is not welcoming, that also could exacerbate your health. So as we know, we have to be proud of our center, actually. So I think we do everything to keep up our center, to make it a welcoming place, an acceptable place, a place where people a home away from home. Yes. So that's number one thing. But when people come here, we are cheerful, each and every one of you. And that's, when I go out there to talk about Diversity House, I say to people, I'm not there, but go there, because they will smile at you. They welcome. They will say hello. One thing I don't like when I go somewhere, when I go to an organization and I step in, they don't even say hello to me. They don't even make eye contact with me. I begin to panic already. So I know that of myself. And then when people come here, you are not smiling. You can't afford not to smile at them. You can't afford not to say hello with a smile, even if you're so sad, even if there's so much stress going on. But as soon as somebody walks in here, you hello. And sometimes because I see them coming, I could open, because I have a camera. I just stand by the gallery there and say, oh, hello, how are you? And all of you do it. You smile, you say hello with a smile, and that's actually, it breaks the ice. That's good sign. People now open up, whatever problem they have, they share. And I know that, you people do here in Diversity House, the coffee morning is fantastic. I've had a lot of stories about this coffee morning. I tell you, I was somewhere at Hempstead House over the weekend, and people talked about your coffee morning and the dogs and all that that comes there. That they can't believe it, and the different people that come there. And I've had stories about the mindfulness that you do here. That's one thing, and the warm hub also. And the winter is coming very soon. It's becoming very cold already, and that you come to a place where they offer you a warm cup of tea or coffee, and you sit down in a warm environment and chat with other people, because winter can be a very, very, depressing time. That's when many people have actually suicidal ideation. So, and that you have a space, and we've created a space. All of you here have worked hard to create a space that people can come in at that time to just sit down, chat, have a cup of tea. But do you know what I want to do this winter, and what we should be doing this winter? We should serve them soup. Why can't we serve them? Not just tea and coffee. They should have whatever selection of soup they want. Yeah? What do you people think? We've not tried
Like
that before.
like hot chili soup, or what
Yeah,
kind
we
of
can
soup?
tomato soup, lentil soup, whatever it is they want. I think we should go there. Before it's just biscuits and tea and coffee. Then let's take it further and give them soup and all that. So that's fantastic. And I know you have a well-being hub. You have a well-being hub, and we work with NHS, 1U, and all sorts of people. But let me not keep hijacking this talk. Let me leave you to say, you know it's better than myself. You know what's going on here much, much better than myself. Let me leave you to talk, please.
Yes, go on, Adi, please.
The idea of serving soup is not bad. I really don't know much about the soup, but as you raise up the idea, it's not something bad. We can put it a try and see how they will accept it. And here in Diversity House, we offer a wide range of services for people with mental health and well-being issues. We have people that we partnered with that they work in NHS, the 1U. So they are there that support our service users by checking them in their health. For example, they don't do blood tests, but they do BP checks. So the best advice that is to give people that have a high BP or that has low BP, they are practitioners, they are medical practitioners that they provide those services. So me, myself, the last time I did my BP, that they said everything is fine. I said, oh, for a very long time, I haven't done it. I've just been working, and been thinking everything is fine. And when they checked, they said everything is fine, but I need to do more of exercise and take some bit of fruit and vegetables. So that was when I said, oh, it's actually good when you are working in a place and you have the opportunity to be able to even check your health status, maybe because you have an excuse that you have been working Monday to Friday, you don't have the opportunity to check yourself, and being working in a place where they can even check for you is an added advantage for me, not to even talk of our service users. So we have them in place whereby if you come to Diversity House, those services are there for everyone to access. And also, we have a session that is being held in Diversity House being led by Dr. Zina herself, Wellbeing and the Coffee Morning. It's also a very good one for people to come to sit down, relax. The environment is conducive and they're welcoming. Even all our staffs, like we have said earlier, they are welcoming and they don't even say because you are black, you are white or anything. They try and welcome everybody excuses or whatever challenges they are going through. So the environment is okay and the staffs are well trained and well-mannered as well. So that's what we are doing for people that are coming to Diversity House for well-being session. And I think from the feedback we've had, so we've been having so many positive responses, so many positive feedback. So it's actually helping and it's working. So I encourage people outside that they should also don't say, oh, how would the people even see me that I'm saying this about myself? It's not about you sharing your problems sometimes, but when you find yourself in a environment whereby you don't even see yourself like you have something that is a problem to you, maybe you are seeing other people with bigger challenge. By that time, you are going to even forget your own, that your own is even lesser. So it's not about you sharing what you are going through, but even seeing people around, chatting with people. And that's the idea. For me, that's the idea. So that's it.
Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, I just wanted all to talk more about the some like coffee morning and some other things we do at Diversity House that helps uh, us our service users to maintain.
Another thing that we do is the cycling. Like I said to you, this cycling that we started we started the cycling formally during the COVID, whereby Diversity House bought 20 bikes and gave to people. Remember that time that they were saying that ethnic minorities were disproportionately affected by COVID. And so one of the intervention was to give them bikes, help those that don't know how to cycle to learn how to ride their bikes and all that. And we found that that was really helpful. The feedback was that really helped their mental well-being. So since then, we have been teaching people how to ride their bikes. And we have many bikes, many bikes, thanks to the Southeast Rail and all that gave us lots and lots of bikes. And so we have bikes and we cycle and we ask people Mondays. It's part of the well-being day that we do, we do that. So we cycle and to places, Milton Creek Park and all sorts of beautiful places. Do try and join us in riding your bikes. You will enjoy it. It makes you feel free. Another thing that we do also is, when we are talking about us as adults, we should also think about the well-being of babies. So within our center, we also encourage moms. And and young moms, that young moms sometimes may need some encouragement or support to breastfeed. Believe me, breastfeeding for children, for babies, those crucial months, is very important to breastfeed your baby because it helps, breast milk has this has important things in it, nutrients that actually makes baby to, their immune system is okay and they can grow, meet them milestones. But not only that, form bonding, because as you're breastfeeding your baby, you're bonding with your baby, you're making eye contact with your baby. And so you have this very good bonding, mother and baby's, attachment. That's very good. And for the woman also, it's good for her health also. People don't really know that, but it's really good for her health. So we have a breastfeeding hub here in Diversity House. And we encourage people. It's not just people that come here that can come and use the breastfeeding hub. Outsiders, community members can drop by, and we have breastfeeding pumps that we can give to them. We have breast feeding creams for the nipples and all that. They can come and use that. And when they come also, we can give them things for their babies. We can give them nappies. We can give them nutrient drinks that are, nutritious and all sorts of things that they can take away. So that's one of the things. So mother and baby is very important. But also within that well-being hub, because I'm so proud of this well-being hub, and many people say we should be proud of ourselves for having the well-being hub, because when you go there, it's so calming. So you could just, believe me, I even encourage people that if you are in the high street and you become anxious suddenly, remember Diversity House. Come to the hub there, and just sit down and dim the lights and play some soft music and sit down and get your balance. And then if we are very attentive people. When we notice that you've come there and you close the door and you rested, when you are free, we can come in and talk to you and give you some, brief motivational intervention, which is very, very good. Give you brief motivational intervention, because a problem solved, a problem shared is a problem halved, or whatever, how it is said. I've forgotten that analogy, but that's
Problem
very,
said is
very
half solved.
important. And then I remember that last year we sent a lot of people to see clinicians to have talking therapy. And because if you have psychological problems and you are referred by your GP or so, it's about 18 months to get counseling. But I'm not saying the whole world should come to Diversity House because we don't have so much money now, but we will do what we can to help you. That's the kind of people we are. But what else do we do for well-being? Cookery. So you people have forgotten the cookery class. Yes? The cookery class is so important to me, and I know it's important to you people, because we have shared some wonderful meals across the world. We've shared moments, we've cooked. Do you know one nice thing about cooking? People don't know that cooking is very therapeutic. Do you know that? Do you know that it's very, very, it's a therapy. So, and when you cook with people, sharing, this one cut the onion, that one do that, and then you sit down together and have meals together. It's fantastic. And so we have cookery class and teaching people how to cook healthy meals, because we are now in the day and age of Deliveroo, this Wagamama, all sorts of things. People rarely cook at home. People don't cook, and so some children don't even know how to cook. And what if they leave home? And so they're going to be eating junk food all the time. So we try to teach people how to eat healthily. And Ade, you could talk about the projects that we did the other
Last
day.
project on LD
Yes.
eating.
So
Yeah.
let me leave you to talk that. And Charles, I know you have a lot you want to share also.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mrs. Locke. Cooking, like we have said earlier, is a part of healthy lives, because it is actually when we can cook healthy food that's when we begin to consume what we cook. And whatever we are consuming, it has to be something that is being done properly. So cooking and having the ability to cook right way, and is part of encouraging well-being in the society. So we have a cookery class, and we've done that in the past. We're still even doing that now. We teach people how to cook healthily, we give advice on the type of food to be consumed to make sure that they consume more of cooked food instead of processed all those canned food, and instead of not saying, okay, I'm buying food from outside. And in terms of food and vegetable, it's always good when we consume at least minimum of 5 either fruits or vegetables in a day. It could be a mixture. It could be apple, orange, just food, fruits and vegetable, not just one variety, to make sure that we inculcate 5 of different ones into our meals every day. So it's part of eating healthily, and it's very good for our well-being. So, like we said, cooking is very good for healthy lifestyle. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. Charles, do you want to say something? Do you want to share?
Yeah, I think we've said it all. Like Mrs. Locke, Mr. Ade, and you yourself, you're giving like brilliant, amazing points, on about our prestigious organization. Yeah, I will always look out for people. We don't just want you to come and just learn and go. We also want you to see us as a family. Because we see you as a family, and then we want to care. We want to be part of your life. Whatever you're going through, whatever challenges you feel you're facing, a problem shared is half solved. When you tell us, we know where to come in, we know the advice, the opportunities out there that we could, introduce to you, and also to guide you on the right path. So, yeah.
Well, yes, thank you very much.
Sorry, let me come in again because I know Dr. Zina and all my colleagues here, you know that we offer a lot in Diversity House.
Yes.
A lot of it. We go on outreach because one of our motto, our ethos is do not wait for them to come. Go to where you find them. And it's because of that love that you said, Charles. We love people. We are people that crave interaction, social interaction with other people. So we go out. And you see, yesterday we were at the job fair, was wearing to Ade.
Yes, we
And you
will.
could see that, how people were trooping, to our store. But why do you think they were coming like that? Because you were going off there, I was going off there,
Exactly.
hugging them and so everybody, oh, Diversity House, have you been to Diversity House? Oh, so because they know we love to see them, we want to hear, not just to see them, but we want to share. People say Diversity House is where you go. If you're crying, they will cry with you. If you
Mm.
are laughing, they will laugh with you. And that brings me to the mind to say, Happy Independence, Nigeria. So, Happy Independence Day. So,
Happy independence.
yeah,
Yeah.
and because that's the culture where we come from. We, all of us, and we say Nigeria, but we have our sister here who is from North Africa.
Yeah.
Where the blood is the same. We are very, very, I think we are from the tropics. I think the hot sun, the hot sun makes you want to embrace everybody and take everybody home, So
Mhm.
having said that, in Diversity House, we do a lot. We do mentoring. Today, you were mentoring somebody, Dr. Zina, weren't you? Yes. Yesterday, Ade, you mentored somebody, you asked, and the person came here quickly because of the way you mentored. Charles, you do the mentoring when it comes to the IT. You take the one, hold them hand by the hand and lead them to where they need to be. So, and these are some of the things with mentoring and coaching people. The food bank also is the well-being. Oh, have you forgotten the multicultural food bank? And you see, not just the multicultural food bank, we started this, we started giving people food in 2010. And we didn't dare call it multicultural food bank. We didn't dare do that because we thought it was belittling people, So we called it Eat Smart and Move Smart. And so it was a health promotion and health education program whereby Eat Smart, that is people eat, we teach them, the nutritionists come and tell them how to eat nutritious meal and cook it and food labeling and all that, avoiding lots of salt and oil and all those kind of things. And then Smart, Move Smart is the exercise, the physical exercise bit of it all. And drink, you drink lots of water, not tea, not coffee, good, clear water, So we were doing that and giving people fruits and vegetables and all that. But lo and behold, 2016, everybody's now talking about food bank. But for us, it's multicultural food bank because Diversity House, we don't, is the ethos leave no one behind. So we have to give people food that they eat. Hence, and because we are we're a global village now, there are different people living in our locality. We need to make sure that we cater for them. But one thing we noticed was when we are doing this well-being through food, we noticed that some people weren't happy. Do you know why? And we asked, why aren't you happy? We've given you food. Is the food that we gave you not good enough? And they say, oh, yes, thank you. We appreciate the food you've given to us. But we have a little doggy. We have a little doggy at home and we have a cat, So if we eat and the dog eats, how do you think we'll feel? Do you know? And hence, we started the dog and cat food bank. We can't do for donkeys. We can't do for horse. We can't do for lizard because we don't have what it takes to do for all animals. But this dog, so we're not being discriminatory. Dog and cats are the owners come here a lot. So it makes sense to give them food. But you see, having talked about that, animal welfare also. Do you know that when we started giving dog and cat food, so some people now came and said, oh, my dog, oh, my old dog, I love my old dog. I don't want to put my dog to sleep. It's incontinent now. Guess what we did? What did we do when they told us that their dogs were incontinent? Could anybody guess what we did? You don't know what we did?
You adopted the dog?
No. We started giving them Pampers.
Oh, wow.
We started giving them Pampers so that, so that they can put the dog down, incontinent. So you have Pampers for dog, so that the dog will wear the Pampers and we there and don't soil the whole house. Yeah? So that's one of the things. So I love Diversity House, the way we think outside the box. And so the well-being of somebody and the well-being of the very important other, person or animal in their lives, because our animals are families also.
Yeah,
And,
that's true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
our
that's true
animals
because all these animals, keeping them at home sometimes it helps a lot of individuals because some people don't even have family that this pet that we are talking about is their family. So them eating and their pets are not eating, they will never feel all right because it's just like a child is not eating. So when you give them a food and you don't consider their pet, then you are not doing them a favor. So because when you are considering them and you are considering their pets, and it's a very good initiative that Diversity House is actually doing on that because not considering only people alone, that's considering the pet as well. So when the owner of the dog is happy and the dog is also happy, then the health and the well-being of that person is balanced. So we have to keep the balance, making sure that everyone is happy, and that's the motive for food bank to serve the people and to also serve the pet. So I will actually commend Diversity House for putting all those things into their thinking as well and implementing it. So yeah, it's a very good initiative.
Another thing, Charles, which you should have brought up. But let me give you a background, a foundation to that. And I'll leave you now to bring that up because you're doing well-being in your IT and the cyber security. So during the COVID, Diversity House gave to the communities lots of iPad with 24 months jungle, thanks to Good Things Foundation that supported us to do that. And SIM cards, thanks to all these Virgin, O2, 3, and we were able to give lots and lots of SIM cards and give iPads and all that. What did you think the iPads did with the dongle, 24 months dongle during the COVID? Was it not the welfare of the people?
Yep.
Yes, some of these people were lonely. Some of them were old people. Their families are scattered all over globally, and they were all by themselves in solar. What do you think will happen to somebody that is in solar? Their mental well-being will be down, isn't it?
Yep.
So, but when they have these iPads with the dongle all set up for them, and so taught them, some of them didn't know how to do FaceTiming, and we taught them how to FaceTime, and they could FaceTime with their children in Australia, in Papua New Guinea, in wherever they are, or even in London. So that did help their mental well-being. Then, drilling back post-pandemic, you're doing digital inclusion. We all know what's the life, online is nowadays.
Yeah.
There's some risk there, but you have got to promote. So health promotion online. What are you doing with cyber security? What's all that? Is it not? So I leave you to talk about that.
Yeah, thank you for that point, Ma. Thank you for bringing that to my memory. And for me, it's a fact, because so far with the digital inclusion course, we've been able to like touch a whole lot of parts on cybersecurity, on how people could leverage the use of the internet, to connect socially, like to their family members, to friends and all that, and also be safe while doing that, because that also helps. Imagine someone just waking up and then seeing that their account has been hacked. That alone is going to like mess up with their mental health, get them depressed. Some people have like emails that have all of their documents, all of their pay slip, all of whatever sensitive information that they keep on their email account. And then so far we've been able to like inculcate that habit of cyber safety, how to write longer and stronger password, how to securely save your password, how to identify phishing links and stuff like that. That way it's not just about them being safe, but it also protects their mental health from being bad damaged. Yeah, thank you for that point, man.
Yes, yeah, thank you very much. I see that every one of us is very excited to talk about this topic, and this topic is related to every other aspect of our life.
Yeah.
Yes, so the points that I want to make before we close up is come to Diversity House. There is everything that you, that is something that works for you, for every one of you. There is something that is for you at Diversity House. And if you have been watching this podcast, you will know exactly what works for you. And come to Diversity House. We are situated in Sittingbourne, ISP House, Church Street, ME10, ME10 3EG. So, yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, before we go, let me quickly also talk about our economic well-being. So on that note, because I know, time is of the essence now, we need to close this. But economic well-being is very important. And on that note, I want to encourage people to come to our business expo, which is taking place on the 26th of October. So come and listen and talk to some of the experts on how you can improve your economic well-being, So that's what I wanted to share with you.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you all for sharing your experiences in the first part in this podcast. And thank you very much for talking about the amazing services that we offer at Diversity House. And we are looking forward to the next podcast next Tuesday, same time. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank
And mute
you.
yourself and say thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.